So yesterday, go ahead, Anthony. You want to set this up?
Yeah, so Rodney McLeod went on the NFL Total Access and said that this is going to be his last lap in the NFL. It's going to be his last year playing with the Browns. And I'm going to show you the clip real quick, and then we'll go into our question of how many Browns players could it be the last year of?
Does Rodney McLeod get a farewell tour?
He should. Super Bowl champion Rodney McLeod.
Go ahead.
Thank you. I appreciate it. This is the last lap for me. It's been a long career, prosperous one, one that many didn't anticipate when I started out being undrafted, but I've been able to achieve a lot, and looking forward to just rocking out with my teammates this year, giving it my all, and hopefully ending up where we ultimately want to be, and that's a part of that last dance at the end of this year.
And the 13 seasons becoming a rarity, Rodney, guys being able to make the decision on their own terms, of course, ultimately a rarity. Why did you make the decision to do that last lap in Cleveland?
I made a decision to make this the last lap. Just felt as though last year was left incomplete. I wanted a complete year. I pride myself on availability and being durable. And so for me this year is finishing unfinished business, I would say. Felt like I left food on the plate, right? And I'm hungry. And I think I could say the same for a lot of my teammates. We got better this offseason, and we're going to pretty much leave off where we ended last year. We're going to come into the season ready, prepared, and hungry than we were last year to go out and hopefully obtain what we desire.
First of all, what an amazing accomplishment. There's not that many NFL. First of all, it's nearly impossible to make it into the NFL, as you know.
Yep.
Yes.
Number two, if you do make it, there's what percentage of players last 13 years?
13 is
Less
crazy.
than 5%.
Okay, and he was undrafted. I would love to know how many undrafted players have played 13 or more years. The number's got to be pretty small.
Steve Becker, I know we say don't text us during the show. This is a great research opportunity.
Special,
this is a Steve Becker special. If you find it, you are allowed to text us.
I mean, it's got to be, I would say, if there were 30 guys in that scenario, I'd be surprised. Outside of, forget kickers and punters. That's different. But like.
Or quarterbacks.
No.
Yeah, but undrafted?
Yeah,
quarterback.
but right. Undrafted is tough.
I would like to know guys that were not like kickers, punters, or special teams guys. Because
like
those guys are often undrafted.
A long snapper, yeah.
Right, long snapper.
Doesn't count.
But guys that were primarily offensive or defensive players, undrafted, playing 13 or more years, can't be a lot of guys like that.
And when you do it as a defensive back, your skills are the quickest diminish. Like,
no doubt.
We saw Nnamdi Asomugha be like one of the best corners, and then he just
like that.
Gone.
Yeah. You lose your speed, or him as a safety. You know, he's banging a lot of cats. Super, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a double pause.
That's so dumb, G. Bush. I can't believe you said yourself.
Well, the question Anthony wanted to ask,
yeah,
and I'll avoid G getting paused
double
again.
Paused?
Yeah.
Was.
So we know it's Rodney McLeod's last lap. What other Browns could be in their quote-unquote last lap, not for the NFL, but in their Browns career this year?
Do we have a list of the Browns' upcoming free agents?
I don't have a list. I put a list together, guys. I think will be in their last.
It's a little bit of a dropping of the ball right there.
You could have done your research. Here's my list.
I assumed you guys would have a list of free agents.
Here's my list. These are guys I'm
Yeah.
pretty confident, and don't shoot the
Will
messenger.
not be here.
This is their last year with the Browns. It starts with Nick Chubb. The Browns made it evidently clear when they restructured his contract that instead of extending him, they just reworked it to give him this extra money this last year. So I don't see any reason outside of him coming back having a monster year, which he totally could. He absolutely is capable of. But I think this would be Nick Chubb's last season. Greg Newsome, they picked up the fifth-year option, but him and MJ Emerson both would have to get paid next season. You can't pay both of them. I think they choose Emerson over Newsome, so he's gone. Thornhill, with the emergence of Ronnie Hickman and DeAnthony Bell and the other guys in the safety room, one of the guys is going to be the odd man out. If they cut Thornhill after this season, they end up saving about $4.5 million, and they already have a lot of other guys behind them. Jack Conklin, with the emergence of DeJuan Jones, that's your guy. If you cut Conklin after this season, you save $12 million. I don't know how they bring Conklin back after that. Zadarius Smith, he signed a 2-year deal, but it's really a one-on-one. They can get out after it. It's nothing against Zadarius, but I think the Browns would love love for either Alex Wright or Agbo or one of these other young defensive ends to come and take his production so I don't have to pay him again. And then it's either Elijah Moore or Amari Cooper, and I put Amari Cooper on my other list on guys I really, really, really hope it's not their last year, but they can't pay both Moore and Cooper. And these are the guys I hope it's not the end of. JOK still doesn't have an extension. The 2 guards, one of them it's probably the end.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who it'll be. And then Amari, he's on his last year of his deal,
Yeah.
30 plus. So those are, I think, the candidates, at least the big name candidates,
Yeah.
who could be in their last year with the Browns.
Zach Zinner is going to spell the end of one of those guys.
I don't know which one, but
Yeah.
one of the two.
Whoever get hurt
Yeah.
first.
One of the two.
Like it's a
Now,
battle
Wyatt
to
Teller's
attrition.
younger, but Bitonio's been the more consistent
player, right?
If they cut real quick on that,
Yeah.
if they cut Bitonio after this season, so he plays and then
Yeah.
it's no dead lost money. It's just essentially you get out free. Teller, there's a dead cap hit if you were to cut him, so that may factor into it.
I think Joe Bitonio is a sneaky retirement.
I was
watch.
just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
I could
He's-
see him.
He's sneaky
You
retirement.
know, Joe
watch.
Thomas, he's
Yep.
getting up there. He's probably made a lot. You know, he's made a good amount of money. You know, he may be one of these guys that wants to play forever. You never know, but
I mean,
I could see him retiring at the end of the year,
and
even though he's still playing.
And especially if he has a good year, if he
Yeah.
makes like All Pro or he's
Go out
a
on
Pro
top.
Bowler,
Yeah.
like he's a borderline Hall of Famer. Borderline, like.
Yeah,
You-
it's so hard with offensive linemen. You never know for
you
sure.
Never really,
but yeah,
you
yeah.
quite know. So I think he's one of those guys. I've always said that between him and Myles Garrett, I think Myles Garrett wakes up one day. That's why I be freaking out. I'm
Yeah.
like, I think he wakes up one day. It's like, my body hurts. Like
Yeah.
I did get in a car accident and I played 12 games. Like Myles Garrett just done a lot of different things. I think he's another dude that won't be here till he's 31 or 32.
I agree.
I think he's out early too.
I could see him waking up one day and go, I'm just going to go write a book on dinosaurs or something.
Yeah, I don't-
Like, just
Yeah.
get into
And then
something
not
else.
be seen.
Yeah, that's it.
Like he's
And
just,
yeah.
And then
What about the rest of the list?
I think Mike did a good job overall. I think, and maybe I'm kidding myself, but I actually think Nick Chubb will be back next year.
Oh no, Nick
Yeah.
Chubb to me, I think Conklin, you're dead right on that. When you look into that deal, I killed them for giving him an extension, but when you look at it, it's really like a 2-year type joint.
the Conklin.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
but it's
they're
a lot
still
of
going to
bread.
eat $12 million,
Right.
but it.
I think Nick Chubb is back. I think Conklin is gone. I think Jed Wills is gone. I don't think you had him there.
I chose between Wills.
I think
or
they're both
Conklin.
gone.
Bringing a new tackle completely.
Yes.
Interesting.
And maybe spend in free agency on a legit left tackle, which is hard to do. Or,
and,
but
and it's tough because if they don't, so we got a first round draft pick.
yeah.
If they get rid of Jed Wills, that means we using that on a tackle.
Unless you make a trade or there's a free agent tackle you can get.
Right.
I actually think they'll have 3 new offensive linemen next year.
A guard.
Because I think Bitonio, Wills, and Conklin are all gone. Now, Conklin may not start this year anyway.
but I get your point.
But I
Yeah.
think you're gonna have a new left tackle and a new left guard. And maybe a new center next year too. I think Chubb is back. I think JOK will be back.
I hope JOK
I
back.
think
He better be
Zadarius
back.
Smith is gone. I agree with you there. I think Juan Thornhill's gone.
Cooper Moore, how'd you feel on that?
Okay, Moore's gone, no doubt.
Yeah.
Cooper's the toughest because I'm like, you're letting Moore walk. I think Cooper, there's a lot of factors that go into Cooper. Number one, how good is his season?
Yeah.
If he gets hurt again this year, like he got hurt late last year, if he gets hurt again this year, I think they let him walk because now it's like, he's 31, right? He's going to be 31 this year, isn't he?
31 or 32. I think he's.
At that age, if he gets hurt again in season, I think you're going to let him walk. But I think another big factor in Cooper is how good is Jerry Jeudy?
That's another one.
Like if Jerry Jeudy's been a disappointment in his career to this point, but he's capable. I think he has the skill to potentially be a number 1 receiver, not a top 10 guy, but like a good, solid number 1 receiver. Yeah. I think that's his ceiling. And if he can reach that, then they definitely let Cooper go.
Yeah.
And work on, filling up from there. Maybe Cedric Tillman, improves this year. We'll see. Who knows what kind of opportunity he'll get. Who else? Is there anybody else we're forgetting?
Newsome. The
I think
Newsome
he's
Emerson
gone.
decision.
Yeah.
I think he's gone.
He knew that when
Yeah.
when Emerson starting.
Yeah.
Like from day one, it was like.
Yeah, I put JOK on the I hope it's not the end. They just,
Oh, no, they got to
it's just weird because They could have extended him already. I understand their hesitancy to extend him because was it a one-hit wonder? Can you replicate it? But they don't spend in that position. If it was any other position,
But hey,
I'd feel
my
a lot
argument
more
to that would be,
confident.
who have they had worth spending on at that
Listen,
position?
I would break the bank for him. I think he's
Yeah.
that good. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm just saying it's a position they haven't historically
I
spent.
think they pull. A Teller, a Delpit, an Njoku, which is during the middle of the season, 5-6
that.
games in.
Yeah.
I
they
love
extend them.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They extend them
See it early just for a couple games, and then you could give it up.
they-
Yeah, I'm with that.
because to me, he's actually the key to the defense. Like he's like, if you're gonna run that type of defense and that style where you're just running around, flying around, playing with that level of speed, you gotta have a linebacker that can do that. I think. I mean, you know how I feel about his season last year. Like, I mean,
Incredible.
It was crazy. It's one of the better seasons I've seen as a defensive player for the Browns.
As down as we were on him going into this past season,
Crazy.
and usually I'm let a guy prove it his second season. With him, I'm like, I'd pay him now.
I would too.
I
yeah.
would, because if he does prove it his second season, then he's getting huge money. The good news is, though, as a linebacker,
Big
you
money
don't-
for that's not
you
even
generally,
huge
unless
money,
you're
yeah.
a pass rushing outside linebacker, like a TJ Watt who's not really a linebacker but he's listed as one. Those guys, the rest of those guys don't get paid crazy money.
We looked at the Patrick Queen deal as like a pretty good. I think.
what did he end up getting?
41 for 3.
Yeah, like that's very doable.
Yeah.
He's gonna. I'm gonna mark it down. He will be the highest paid linebacker in the league when he signs his deal.
More than like Fred Warner got 100 mil. You think he's gonna get
he's not
100
getting
mil?
that.
For 100 year, how much is guaranteed?
I don't know. I think it's 5 for 100 was his deal, or 4 for 100.
Like I don't know how much you offer a linebacker in guaranteed money, but I think JOK could be there, and he's really, really, really young. I mean,
Yep.
So Fred Warner, according to Over the Cap, signed a 5-year, $95 million extension, $28 million fully guaranteed at signing, $40.5 million fully guaranteed over the course of the deal. That's less than half. I mean, that's actually not.
Still, but that's a lot of money. I don't think he's going to get a bigger deal than that, but I guess
I
time
think
will tell.
maybe he'll be someone in the park.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get a good deal. There's no doubt about it. Whether it happens now or at the end of next year, the Browns have developed him, right? Jim Schwartz has developed him. I don't think when you draft a guy and then you develop him into being a really good player, it's generally stupid to let that guy walk. And the Browns have showed you they don't let guys walk if they want to. Like they're not afraid to spend money.
They signed Delpit again.
Yep.
They signed. Well, they're going to sign Emerson.
Right.
The only one is Newsome, and I think they just lucked up, and because
They would have signed him if it wasn't for Emerson, though.
Right.
Like they lucked into the fact they didn't have to sign him.
JOK, based on what we've seen so far, is a way better player than Greg Newsome.
JOK,
I just think, if you're not going to sign JOK, then you shouldn't. Then what'd you draft him for?
He's lived up to
this
last
year. He way exceeded any expectations anybody could have possibly had for him.
If you knew you were getting that from JOK, he's a top 10 pick.
yes,
And you got him in the second round.
Right.
So
yes.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's a rare 3-down linebacker.
yeah.
Like
Right.
he doesn't come off the field. Like
He's not just a run stuffer.
Yeah.
He's not just a pass coverage
No.
guy. He can
Yeah.
rush the passer. Gee, I know you said he had 3.5 sacks last year. I don't think it's crazy that number's
Yeah.
at 5.6 this year as I utilize him
Okay.
in more blitz packages and stuff like that.
And
All right,
he
guys.
missed some sacks.
guys,
Yeah.
we're going to switch it up now.